Hello, welcome to Priory Paddock. We are well into autumn now, the season where the natural world closes down and prepares itself to last out the winter, and that is clearly visible in the paddock now, which is looking distinctly drab. Autumn may be the season of mists and mellow fruitfulness in the Wye Valley, and the trees along the side of Bassenthwaite Lake may well be turning wonderful gold and orange colours in the shelter of the fells there. But here in Priory Paddock, half a mile from the Irish Sea, autumn is the season of equinoctial gales and horizontal rain, and leaves being blown off the trees before they've had a chance to turn colour. And that is clearly visible here now in the trees of the shelter belt, where the windward, seaward side of the belt is a mass of bare twigs, and if you come into the paddock, in the lee and the sheltered side of the trees, there are a few leaves hanging on still, but they're still green. They've hardly had a chance to turn colour at all. As for fruit, well, there are a few haws still to be seen, bushes. All the elderberries have long gone. They're the first to go, actually. The blackbirds and thrushes tuck into those and make sure that they go very quickly. There's a few berries left on the Gelder rose, bright red berries that don't seem to be particularly appetising, because I haven't seen anything eating those yet. But we'll be able to see how long they last through the winter. Most of the soft plants are looking very bedraggled now. There's still some green to be seen, because so far it's been a very, very mild autumn, and so the grass, as far as I can tell, is still growing. But the seed heads of everything have now turned down, and many of the seeds have been dispersed. Some of the seed heads are quite distinctive. The rather hedgehog-like heads of the teasels are probably the most obvious. They were being visited earlier by seed-eating birds, chaffinches and goldfinches in particular, liked eating the seeds from the teasels. The purple loosestrife are now tall spirals of empty brown seed capsules, and in the central section of the paddock, the codlins and cream, which are brown, turning brown completely now. The tops of the codlings and cream are covered in the down of the aerial born seeds from the codlings and cream, and those are very, very popular with birds. We'll be able to carry on feeding on those right through the winter. So far, as I've said before, it's been very mild this autumn, and one of the effects of that is that some flowers have carried on flowering quite late. The ivy on the walls, which is a very important source of food for the insects in the autumn here. Most of the ivy has finished flowering. Two heads that still haven't set, and they are still attracting hoverflies and some bees. And there are one or two small flowers, small late spikes left on the buddleia and and they, oh, there, I've just seen, then we are in mid-October, I have just seen a red admiral, a very late red admiral, flying away from the buddleia. That will be looking for somewhere to hibernate very, very soon. But today is a bright sunny day, so that that red admiral has been out feeding up on nectar from the buddleia and probably from the last of the ivy. I've come up to the top of the paddock now. I'm standing here. As I say, today is a sunny day. The sun shines very low though, so there's not a lot of warmth in it. I can see a robin hopping about in the elderberry tree here. It was singing that piping song earlier on, but I don't think he's going to oblige now. No, sorry. But there are some rose hips left here, and one or two blackberries, but most of the blackberries have gone. I don't think I would find them particularly appetizing. And under the crabapple tree is the ground beneath the crabapple tree is strewn with fruit. They're very, very large fruit for crabapples, about 3 inches in diameter, some of these things, and they have very, very clearly been eaten by birds and probably mice as well, looking at some of the damage here. The crabapples have clearly been appreciated. Coming back down the snaky path with low afternoon sunlight coming through the trees here, I've come across one tree which is really well sheltered here, which actually is changing colour, and that's a nutstarm, a hazel bush which is growing here next to the crabapple. And let's have a look. No, I can't see any nuts on it. There were some hazelnuts on it, but they have obviously gone. But what I can see is the leaves, which are turning a lovely, lovely yellowy orange colour. Coming on down the path back towards the pot, I can see the leaves on the lee of the birch trees here. Some of those are changing colour too, although most of the leaves have already been blown clean off the birch tree. There are birch twigs standing up against the sky, which I dare say at one time would have stricken fear into the hearts of the boys of St. Bees School, as the birch was the instrument with which the master kept discipline. Well, I'm crossing the boardwalk now over the pond. I've come right back to the bottom of the paddock, and I'm looking at the Gunnera manicata, the giant rhubarb, which sadly is not a plant which enjoys growing in a windy place. The huge leaves are not wind resistant in any particular degree, so the autumn gales have wreaked havoc with the poor old Gunnera, and it won't be long now before the remaining leaves, we have to take off the remaining leaves and mulch the Gunnera and put it down for the winter, to let it sleep the winter through. Well, that's what I can see at the moment. As I say, the paddock is very much in the grip of autumn, so we'll see how it gets on next time. Cheerio.